Alright, so if you're watching the last segment, that was High Elf turn 3. You notice I skipped Dwarf turn 3 because there was really nothing to see. He rallied his bolt gun crew, but the bolt gun's now destroyed. He shot everything he could. He actually had a flank shot with that other bolt thrower into the flank of my Dragon Princes. It hit my Prince first, and it hit him, it wounded him, but he has a 4-up ward save, and he made his ward save. So in essence, he was a shield for the whole unit for that bolt, that big bolt coming through. So I got amazingly lucky on that. And like I said, my opponent's just having miserable luck with any of his shooting. So anyway, on his turn, he decided not to charge my white lions on the hill, so I charged him. He's going to have static 5 combat res. I think I'll get several wounds. I'm a stubborn 8. Had I built the list, I would always put a BSB near them, because a stubborn 8 with a reroll is really tough. Stubborn 8 without a reroll isn't something I want to count on. But I have 8 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. I have a pretty good chance of getting maybe 5 wounds there. So really just another look at the board. Shoot, and I pick off the last member of that organ gun crew, so now I don't have to worry about that thing, thank goodness. And so the battle my white lions were in, I had 8 attacks, and so it looks like I got 6 out of 8, so I rolled slightly above average there, needing 2s to wound. You know, that's why we play the game right there. I was so miffed. Alright, so I killed 2 of his guys. He has static 5. I was stubborn 8. I failed my break test and ran. I ran 5, and before I rolled for that, he had chosen to restrain, and I think he did that because he figured he would likely not catch me, and if he pursued me, I was going to get a flank charge with my lion chariot, with my spearmen, and possibly with my Phoenix Guard. Maybe not, I don't know, but he didn't want to get all those flank charges, so he just held. And yeah, I'm not sure if that was a good or bad decision, but anyway, that's what happened. So High Elf turn 5. So I took the Dragon Princes that on my turn 4, I turned them, and on my turn 5, I charged whoever was there. There was his bolt gun crew there. I charged, he fled, I ran him down, and stopped right in front of his quarrelers who have now rallied. Took my Tyrannic Chariot, charged the bolt thrower. You can see what's going on. Phoenix Guard charged the quarrelers. My my white lions rallied. When they were fleeing, they were on the hill, and then we realized that I had moved them too far. So that's where they're at. So this is where I felt the game, his choice not to pursue and those things, this is where I think it played out well, because now his guys are together, and dwarfs are pretty tough as long as they're not getting flank charged left and right. And with the way it is now, it looks like I've got a bunch of frontal attacks, and that's bad news for me. So I thought kudos to him for making up for maybe being out deployed, and assuming he was, and getting his guys together. So High Elf turn 5, I'm still shooting. This is his cannons on the way my far left. You know, I figure his troops, I'm not really worried about killing too many of them. I shot at him a little bit. For the most part, if I'm going to break him, it's going to be through combat res. So I'm just getting rid of that cannon so it's not breaking my chariots and stuff like that. You can see, so he's down to 1 crewman, and his machine itself is down to 1 wound. I also shot at these guys over the last turn or two and whittled them down a little bit. Got them both to where they're static 4 instead of static 5. Okay, so at the top, my Dragon Princes are still stuck there. My chariot beat the crew, overran, and now I'm on the hill. His Phoenix Guard beat the quarrelers. They had to take an auto break because I caused fear. Those warriors, of course, are still standing there. And that's what the board looks like. And that's at the end of my turn. I was thinking I'd get a flank charge on him, but of course his turn is next, and he's obviously not going to stand there. Let me flank charge him. So Dwarf turn 5, he takes that big unit of warriors, charges my white lions. He beat me once, figured he can beat me again. Now one thing that happened last time too, even though I lost combat, I was able to kill his general. So his general is dead. Actually, that general may have been in the unit that I beat a long time ago. Either way, his general's dead. his runesmith is dead. That's who I killed with the White Lions. He still has a runesmith behind the hill, and he's got that Thane BSB in that unit that's not the very bottom, the second one up from the bottom. So anyway, he rallies his Quarrelers. He charges his runesmith behind the hill into the flank of my chariot, my Tyrannic chariot up there. He charges my White Lions, and at the bottom of the board he's positioned such that it's going to be very difficult for me to get I would have flank charged my Swordmasters into the flank of those Ironbreakers, but I can't make that wheel now. So he takes his cannon and aims it at my my bolt thrower, puts 2 wounds on the bolt thrower, and knocks off a crewman. Thought that was pretty good. And at the end of combat, I kill a couple of them. He doesn't kill me, and I don't even know. I imagine he won that and I passed my test, or I won it and he passed his. Whatever, you can see we're just kind of hanging out there. And there's just a close-up picture of his runesmith. And he's got good odds there. I've got the hill for my combat res, but you know, he's hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s. I guess he has a great weapon. And my guys are, you know, the horses can't even attack. My guys are hitting on 4s, wounding on 5s, and then he's got an armor save. So yeah, that's just an ugly combat for me. So High Elf turn 6. I take my Phoenix Guard now that couldn't see the warriors, so I went in and charged the Quarrelers again. Still fighting it out with the White Lions. And it's funny because, you know, a lot of times when High Elves and Dwarves play, you know, people say stuff about how it's like a reenactment of the War of the Beard. I swear this was the pillow fight of the Beard. We couldn't hit it. I could either not hit him or not wound, and then he would do the same back to me. It was just funny. So at the bottom, I was able to just wheel all the way around to get my Swordmasters into that unit of warriors and got my White Lion chariot. I'm looking at that thinking I am going to tear him up. And I charged my Spearmen into the front of those Ironbreakers, just hopefully to hold him in combat, which I know I don't have much of a chance there. Or maybe if I break, he'll charge me. But either way, I just don't want him doing a flank charge into my Lion chariot. So there's just another picture. And yes, my Dragon Princes at the top are taking out those Quarrelers. And just another picture. So I shoot at his cannon, finally pick off the last crewman. We're locked in combat with the chariot. My Phoenix Guard makes short work of the Quarrelers. My Dragon Princes annihilate those Quarrelers. And the Phoenix Guard, I don't know if those were Quarrelers or a crew. Whatever they were, they're dead. So my White Lions are still stuck in their pillow fight with the warriors. My Spearmen get their butts handed to them by the Ironbreakers. And he chased, but didn't catch me. And luckily now he can't charge into the flank of that other unit. And I'm telling you, look at all the attacks I had down there. Almost all strength 5. I had 4 line attacks, 2 crew attacks, all strength 5. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Swordmasters, so that's 11 attacks. And I killed a couple guys. That was it. So Dwarf turn 6, he charges my Spearmen who have to flee into the impassable. So that's the only unit I lost through the game was that. The pillow fight at the top, we're locked in combat. The pillow fight at the bottom, you can see I'm whittling him down a little bit, but not nearly enough, and he passed his break test. And this was the highlight of the end of the game. It was so funny. His Thane, you know, has 2 or 3 attacks. He's hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, and he rolls Snake Eyes, which is just crazy. You can see the thing already had 2 wounds. He should have done 2 more and annihilated me, or at least broken me in combat. He rolls 2-1, so I outnumber and have the hill, and there's his break test. It was perfect. This poor guy had, I've said it before, the worst dice rolling I think I've ever seen. So my units are free and clear, all in the center of the board. We're locked in combat with the 2 big units, and I lost the 1 unit. Both of my wizards have 1 wound each because even though they're only level 1 and I never threw more than 2 dice at a single spell, they both misfired, or miscast, I mean. And that was the game. Ended up being, I'm sure it's a solid win or a massacre. I have, I think, 1,100 or so points in the board. He's got whatever that is that you can see. So, solid win for the High Elves, but all in all, it was a fun game. I was pretty disappointed with my inability to get some combined charges, get more flank charges and stuff like that. I think I could use the Dragon Princes better. They ended up just kind of taking care of a few Coilers and bolt gun crews, and that's pretty much wasted points for those Dragon Princes. But that was it. Hope you enjoyed it.